Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. And as you can see, I did it again. I changed covenants on my warrior. We are now Kyrian. And there's a very good reason why we're Kyrian. And once I know what it is, I'll tell you. No, the spear is been attracting me for a little while. Kyrian has some of the best tanking synergies with the vial and just the soulbind, things like that. I really wanted to give it a go, and I thought, why not? Let's try it out. So we are currently. This is literally the first dungeon I've done with a spear, and we're just going to give it a go. So as you can see already, like the CC it adds and the increased rage is really nice. So we're going to be jumping around all over the place here. What I think the play will be is to throw a spear down and then like intervene away if I want to kite. Because a lot of mobs, not all of them, there are some mobs that will just ignore it, such as the Warlord in this pack. But there are a lot of mobs that I can just throw the spear down and ignore it entirely, which is really nice. So the damage from it, 28k, actually hit really hard. And we're already 20 seconds from having it back again. So let's do... We're going to do a big pull in a second and just see what happens, I guess. We're not using our reprisal very well. Let's get back in. So I think warriors are still not in the best position. Dare I say. I think warriors are not the worst tank, not the best. And I think when you compare the difference between the worst and the best tank now, it's not massive. There's not a huge gap, and there has been in the past, and I think yes, there are times that you would not want to bring a warrior over bringing a warrior, but I don't think we're in that position too much now. So let's just do this a second and see how this goes. So we've done a little bit of a bigger pull. It's only heroic. I'm never worried about us wiping. We throw the spear down. So aside from the fact of just the instant energy it gives us, which is the instant rage rate it gives us, which is really nice. If you're ever in a tight spot, just being able to throw down a spear is pretty insane. And the damage it does is comparable to Aftershock. I would say Aftershock is better on the one proviso that you can keep everything in your Aftershock for the full duration. If you can't, probably as good as running Spear. And this is the thing, I think Spear offers you much better ability to kite. Because while Aftershock knocks them down, running Dreamweaver, which is what I was running, encourages you to stay in and fight because you're getting the haste bonus after running Aftershock and things like that. Spear gives you much more opportunity to go, look, I've got my aggro, I've got my threat. Right now, look, I'm going to throw my spear down and I'm just going to walk away. And again, there's still some mobs that just ignore it. The rest of them, they're miles away and I'm very safe. Which is really cool. It really does offer a lot of utility to warriors. I know I talked about Nightfade. I said, oh my god, Nightfade's the best thing in the world. And I've done Necrolord and said there are benefits to that. And I genuinely think right now, Prot Warrior could play any of the 4 Covenants and be playable. I'm looking very much at the moment as to what's the best. And in Mythic Plus, I have to say I think this is king. Again, this is only my first experience. It's also only heroic. So I'm never saying that this is what to base it on. But I think it does. We can see the levels of damage it's doing. It's doing about 20 to 30k over a couple of mobs. I can't believe I just got a Bloodshed scale. Sag. But yeah, so like you're able to hit up to... So this is the other part that's really nice. If you're ever doing big pulls, with Aftershock, you get 5 mobs. Everything after that is ignored. With Spear, you get 5 mobs to do full damage with, and then everything after that takes reduced damage, but it's still hit, and they're all tethered. So I also want to say this is without any conduits, without any soulbind or anything like that. So the rage goes up, the damage goes up, I believe, on the conduit. There are definitely massive benefits to the spear. That I think if you're going to stay in and try and do as much damage as possible, if you're playing Prot Warrior that way, I think Night Fae probably still wins. I think if you're playing it, and I don't want to say the term sensibly because that's wrong, but if you're playing it to be survivable and be the best tank you can be, I think Kyrian is probably the way. So we've pulled a lot here. Let's throw everything down. Now, again, I'm struggling for aggro on a couple of things, and I threw a spear down, and I've got aggro on everything. It did a fair bit of damage, and that's without the conduit. Again, would I have got aggro with Aftershock? Probably not, actually, not on everything, because there was more than 5 mobs. And I think this is where Spear, this is a scenario where Spear is definitely better than Aftershock. So I think if you compare all of the Covenants, which is a video I might actually do if you guys are interested, is I might look at all 4 Covenants and just compare them. I think Kyrian offers you the best Mythic Plus tanking experience. I think Night Fae offers you the best DPS Prot experience. I think you're going to do the most AoE damage with Night Fae. I think Venthyr is going to offer you the most single target DPS possible. And I think Necrolord is going to offer you the best group support. And the important thing to know is, like I said, all of these are viable. If you really, really want to play Necrolord, play Necrolord. I promise you it is viable. I stopped playing Necrolord because I wanted, and I still want to, I want to push Keystone Master. I want to make that experience as easy for me as possible. I think Kyrian is the way I do that. I can do quite big pulls. I'm confident with my pulls. And then I can kite very easily with Spear. I have Rage Generation. I have Threat Generation, which allows me to not be in the fight very long. I'm going to kite my way to Keystone Master effectively. And some of the other Covenants don't do that so well, but they do other things. And like I said, I think as a quick overall guide, that's what each of the Covenants does. Venthyr for single target, Night Fae for AoE damage, Kyrian for just general Mythic Plus tanking, the best tanking experience, and Necrolord for group support. And I think all of them are very close balance. So, yeah, I'm interested if you guys have swapped Covenants. I know there's been so many comments on the channel about people talking about Warrior stuff, and I'm loving it. I'm so happy, and I will get to every comment and reply. But, yeah, there's been so many comments, and it's really nice to hear your stories. I know there's a lot of people that went Necrolord and didn't quite get on with it and come back to other Covenants. And, yeah, that's, like I said, it's all your choice. And I think that's the nice thing with Warrior at the moment. Actually, the nice thing with Fury as well is that you can play Venthyr, Kyrian, or Night Fae and be very viable. Necrolord's in a bit of a weird state for Fury because it doesn't really offer you loads, but I think it will scale well because of the increased strength. Yeah, so I think there's definitely viability here, and I definitely think Warrior's in still a good spot. Let's just throw this down. So 88.4k, we throw that down, did about 15k damage there, 17k damage on the spear, and that's before the dot. So, yeah, I definitely think it's capable of doing some significant damage, and like I said, the other nice part is Vial. There are some weeks where Vial, not tanking without Vial is horrible. Necrotic weeks, especially as a class that doesn't have a way to either cheese or ignore Necrotic. Obviously, Guardian Druids can literally just ignore it exists. Pallies have about 5 different ways of dealing with it. Monks have Ring of Peace, I guess. They don't really have very much. Demon Hunters can just kite for days. Warriors were one of them classes that don't really have all too much of dealing with it because you can't block the hits. You're always going to get the stack applied. So the easiest way to stop that then is to have a Vial. Or to be able to kite. And I think Kyrian offers both. So rather than rambling on, I'm going to leave this video here. Again, let me know if you guys have changed at all. I'm really enjoying all the comments, and I will get back to every single one of you. It may not be on the same day, but I will get back to everyone. If there's any videos you specifically want to see or anything I can explain further, please let me know in the comments below. Sub to the channel if you can. We're going to push soon. I'm trying to get some little sponsor stuff sorted. Yeah. So we're going to start pushing. 1,000 subs is the new goal. That's where we want to be hitting. If you can help me get there, if you can recommend the channel to anyone else, much appreciated. And yeah, thanks for watching.